There you go. Hey, so thanks, ladies, for being here. For those that don't know, which if you don't know, you should. 2005 National Championship, Morningside Mustangs here. I'd say arguably, but there is no argument, you know, as one of the most accomplished teams and athletes in college basketball history, regardless of level. In 05, defended their title, won another national title. And I just wanted to bring everybody together here for M-Side Strong Week and kind of talk a little bit about your tournament run. You know, just an epic team that you guys had. Just awesome camaraderie. Obviously, you guys are have been friends for a very long time. We're very close then, and I think that's probably a big part of your success. But you know, so to get it kind of kicked off, you know, obviously Megan, Brittany, you know, you're you know upperclassmen on the team. You would kind of come into Morningside at you know the D2 level. Talk with some of the guys that I played with as well, and that was definitely a transition time for the college, and for you guys to go through that transition and then find yourselves as back-to-back national champions, I think has as much to do with culture as anything else. And I think that the culture, the tone that all of you set, really propelled Morningside basketball just to a different stratosphere. You know, kind of talk about, if somebody wants to hop in, kind of talk about the culture of your team and, like, you know, obviously you guys were close friends, but what was it like to be on that team, to defend a title, to go 35-3 in 2004, 2005? I don't know what happened with those 3 losses. I don't know if you guys are slacking or what, but 35-3. But go ahead, hop in.
Who wants to start?
Go, Britt. You got it.
Sure, I'll go. Yeah, I think, you know, obviously you kind of touched on me and Megan being there at the very beginning, and yeah, I mean, our freshman year we went through a lot, but I think we had a lot of seniors that kind of taught us what hard work looked like in college. You know, we learned a lot from them, and then I think just going forward, we kind of use that to propel us, you know, when we transitioned to the NAI level. And then, you know, I think you said it, like, we were all really good friends too, and you know, I think that definitely helped on and off the court. I think, you know, sometimes in competitive sports, what you say to each other can kind of be taken out of context or things like that. But really, I think we had developed, you know, such a close bond with each other. We were able to kind of hold each other accountable on the court. So I think, you know, that really helped us. And then, you know, obviously winning the first title was kind of out of nowhere. 05, I think we definitely had a bull's eye on our back. I think our national tournament run was much more difficult. Not necessarily, you know, scores in games, but I think just knowing that everyone, you know, you're the hunted, not, you know, not doing the hunting. So, you know, and I think, you know, obviously us being seniors, we wanted to win it again, but you have kind of that added pressure of obviously being in your hometown and playing where, you know, we went to school too. So, you know, I don't know. Yeah, I think our culture was just really good. Jamie was a big part of, you know, helping us through that and kind of laying that foundation.
Very cool.
Yeah, to piggyback off that, you know, talk about culture. When I remember distinctly when we were freshmen and we won 7 games and people thought we were like awesome. And so the community already thought, hey, you're doing pretty good. And it was not good. But I think that's kind of where it started. The community started believing in us. And then we got a huge freshman class the next year that really helped us, all of these ladies. And then the next year we got 2 more Bettses. And I don't know, I think it just kept going from there. So.
Mm-hmm. And I think one of the big things, and Britt, you talked about it too, is just the camaraderie. When we were talking a little bit about Brittany and I earlier, like, what do you remember? And all the things for me that really stick out are the things outside of basketball as well, about hanging out, and the things after basketball and out of season, and just being together, and the little, the handshakes we had, and having a disco ball, and all of those things that teams need to be successful. I really feel like we had that. We were all good friends. and still are, and we still have reunions and get-togethers and stay in each other's lives. And I think that was something that really was the backbone of our team that helped us.
Yeah. Yeah, so you talked a little bit about having a bullseye on your back. Obviously, being defending national champion. You'd gone from first year you guys played the national tournament. You played Cedarville, lost in the first round. Next year you beat them in the national title game. I think you guys only hit like 18 threes. Megan, you had like 34. It was a decent game. Brittany had 12 assists. It's not a big deal. I don't want you to think I remember this stuff. I did look it up. But for Beth and Vanessa, VI, VR, you come into an environment the next year where, you're getting a few more minutes and things like that. And every game is pretty intense because you do have a bullseye on your back. I mean, what's it like, coming in, you guys just had so much energy off the bench. What was it like coming into those games as, underclassmen, sophomore, juniors, and things like that? Like, how did you handle that kind of stuff?
Well, obviously it was awesome once you got to go in the game. I mean, everyone was always ready. Everybody wanted to get in. But I think the closeness that you talked about also helped us all be role players because we all cared about each other. We all wanted everyone to be successful. We loved Brittany and Megan's success. We wanted them to have as much glory as they could get because we just loved being a part of it. And so that helped us all just lock in and trust our own roles. And I think that really helped the success too.
Sure. Kayla, this one's for you. You guys, it's almost like a lot of the positions were somewhat interchangeable. I mean, you guys played up tempo. You pressed a lot. Kayla, you were at the point of that press often. You and Jill, you guys were incredibly tough. Jill can't be here today, so I can say that I think Jill came up with the, when players get hurt in football because they're trying to like slow the game down. And like, I think that, Jill would like have an asthma attack every once in a while. And I'm like, sometimes I'm like, is she okay? She seems like she's pulling the press all the time and all of a sudden she's tired. But you guys always led that press. Kind of what was your guys' style of play in that way? I mean, I know a lot of this is probably a Coach Sale question too, but you guys all were kind of 5'7" to 5'11", could play multiple positions. You guys were all interchangeable. Kind of what was your mindset on that press and what made that so special?
I think, once again, knowing that you have three people behind you ready to go at all times. If somebody got past you, you're able to trust them that they're going to pick up that next person. So that trust factor, again, going back to that culture of having that friendship and having that belief in each other. We always played the fast pace, always up and down the court. I don't know, maybe at the end of the year of my sophomore year, we finally ran some plays finally. I don't know. We didn't ever run any plays. It was just a quick up and go tempo game. And it was just a fun game to be in.
I can say for Jill though, if they came out and I had to play the front ever, it was tiring. So, I mean, she has good reason.
No, you guys were
always got the fouls, but it was always good.
Yeah.
No, you guys always had crazy energy at the front of that, and obviously you and Jill were such huge pieces of winning all those national titles. And so I meant that affectionately towards Jill. But four of the 8 that we have here, 5 of the 8 are from East High, from the same school. We went to high school and college together. BR, coming into Morningside, you guys would have been freshmen, right? This would have been your freshman year, or
what year were we talking about?
Sophomore year.
Or sophomore year, excuse me, sophomore year. Sorry. So your sophomore year, you get to play in the national championship game in Tyson, which is awesome anyway, but you're playing in front of your home crowd. I mean, you're literally winning or playing a national tournament game, national championship in your home crowd. What was that like? I mean, what's it like to play? Because I don't know. What's it like to play for a national championship in your hometown?
It was really cool. My dad and I always talk about when we go to the NAI games, how it was like sold out. If there were any more seats available. So it was a cool experience, especially when you're with your really good friends that you are doing it with. So it made all the hard work and all the hills and all the preseason worth it at the end.
Very cool. How about the rest of you Sioux Cityans?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you could have asked for a better environment for us to compete for those national titles, to come out of the tunnel and look up and know that you basically have over 6,000.
6,500 people wearing this shirt.
Right. Yeah. And there might have been
part of this being created. I'm just letting you know. We actually sold these.
I like them.
That was my first venture.
But yeah, to know like you have over 6,000 people cheering for you, I don't think, can give you any more, home court than you could ask for. And especially in front of all our friends and family, it's so special. And again, to do it with so many of your close friends, I think that's just something that you'll always remember. I remember us standing in the tunnel, joking around with each other, probably, singing It's Rainy Men in 2004. And, things like that where like you should probably be super, super nervous. But just, knowing our close friendships and then, knowing that we had all the support in the stands, I think just meant the world to all of us. And it's something that I know like is probably one of the most memorable things about winning the national championships.
And I remember our student section being like crazy, huge, like, and very loud. Another thing is we talked about the disco ball, and Vanessa, I feel like, was always like, we need it, and we forgot it one time. Maybe Vanessa, you can tell that story.
Well, I just remember Cheryl found it for us. I don't remember. You girls know, you remember for me. I have like the worst memory ever. I'm sure like Betsy and Brittany can like remember like what they had for dinner before the championship game, but like I cannot remember anything. But I do remember Cheryl. Beth, do you remember? I think Cheryl, she snagged it for us somehow.
She got the batteries.
Yeah, and she also, she went to Walgreens right before the game. She left out the side door to go to Walgreens to get us new batteries, and she made it back right in time for the game.
I just needed my Mountain Dew, Vanessa. That's all I needed. I didn't need any food, just Mountain Dew, and then I'm good.
I do remember that.
You guys always had fun. You guys were creative, and Vanessa, I think you were a big driver in that. I think that creativity for sure. You were a big part of that. So, the disco ball, it's, Raining Men, all that kind of stuff. Maybe you can tell me where it came from. Maybe you can't. But where did all that stuff come from? What does it all mean?
I think you need to talk to Betsy because that's where it came from.
My enjoyment.
Like, would you rather the disco? All of that. It's all Betsy.
We played a lot of
piece of candy during the game. It was Betsy.
Yeah.
Okay.
All of those.
You got full cred. That's strong.
I had to keep it entertaining somehow and light in practice. We started practice always with a would you rather to get us going, and we just had a lot of fun, like in the locker room after practices, before practices, and going through seasons it can get really long. You guys all know that. The winter, all of that. So I feel like those are the things, like I said before, that I never forget. And when Brittany was talking about we're in the tunnel and we were singing It's Rainy Men, I have a picture of that. And that's like one of my all-time favorite pictures of all of us just standing there. Someone took an aerial picture of us. And I always remember how much fun we had on that team and all of the trips we went on and just those memories that we made by having those little fun experiences that made our team who our team was.
Yeah. So along those lines, when I talked to the guys from the guys team, because obviously we played in the same era. You guys remember national titles and you remember a lot of things. You don't remember the wins. All these years later, you don't remember the wins. You don't remember the losses. But you are the only ones that go through that particular season or process or time in your life together. So the coolest thing that we always took away from it is you're the only ones that have those memories and see and experience the things that you did in that way. The coaches do an awesome job. They experience in a different way. Your family's experience in a different way. But it's just such a cool commonality that you'll always have with you, that you always take with you, that you experience together. So I'm going to kind of go around the horn just real quick here. So we'll start with with Beth. I got Beth, and if we're going to go around, but just kind of like, what's a moment from the season? Could be the national tournament, could be any moment in the season, could be off the court, on the court, that you just that sticks out that you remember.
Well, I could maybe talk about Brittany saying how good my defense was, but I'll hold that for later. For right now, what just sticks out, like you said, you kind of forget all the wins and the losses. Like when you said, what were your 3 losses? Honestly, I can't even remember them. But what really does stick out is just the team and the support. We're moving soon, so I've been going through stuff, and you wouldn't believe the amount of cards and letters and quotes that we all sent each other, and not just during the season, but all the time. I mean, stacks and stacks of support just from each other. And we saw each other how many times a day, talked to each other how many times a day, but yet we still constantly were giving each other cards and quotes and pickups, and just the amount of support that you felt from everyone was incredible. So that's what I really remember.
Kayla?
Oh man, so many great memories, I guess. I think the one for me that sticks out, it was a national tournament. I believe it was our junior year, your guys' senior year, Betsy's sophomore year, when we were with a team from New York, like all the other people that you meet, not just from the local teams, but all across the U.S. And there was a team from New York, and we did the popcorn on a train.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and we were lighting it up before we played, and you know, everybody was in just great spirits, and everybody got along, and it was just an awesome experience. I think that would be just the memory of that, just being together as friends for forever. You know, you're going to have these friendships forever.
Megan, go ahead.
Oh gosh, I don't know. Like, you think about all of the memories we've had. Jamie kicking us out of the gym, being mad at us.
Hallelujah.
I was trying to think, was that junior year or senior year? Like, we just walked into the gym and he kicked us out. I know we were playing Northwestern. That's all I know. Probably, I mean, there's a lot, but probably the last game, just because it was the last of my career and it was amazing. And Jamie yelling at Britt and I toward the end because we missed some free throws, and we're like, it's fine. But yeah, just I don't know, ending it with everyone on the court winning. Probably my most memorable.
That's cool. Actually, you were, and I look back on that article. So you were quoted as saying, you were asked which was sweeter for you, the first championship or the second. You said this one was definitely the most exciting because I get to leave the court a winner. So that was cool. That's cool. All these years later, that's the memory that sticks out in your mind. Brittany, what's something that sticks out for you?
Oh man. I think a lot. I mean,
trading cards. We haven't seen the trading cards yet.
No.
Yeah, we don't need to see those.
I'm with you.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we just had so many moments on the court, off the court, like big victories, you know, and then we really just had a lot of fun with each other, and I think that is the thing that I will always remember. Of course, like, I'm the most competitive person, so winning is, you know, obviously going to be at the top for me, but I think just all the time we spent with each other off the court, you know, those are the things that I'll carry with me the rest of my life. You know, I think, again, you kind of touched on it. I think Betsy said maybe like how long a season is. And, you know, I mean, NAI is especially long because there really weren't rules in the summer. Most of us, obviously, I lived there, but we stayed there. You know, and I think about when we would go play open gym, it wasn't like, oh my God, we have to go do this. We would be there for 2 hours, you know, and just things like that. I think we just truly enjoyed, one, you know, obviously playing the game of basketball with each other, but then two, just in, you know, each other off the court. And obviously most of our memories are probably not PG, so we'll keep it at that. But I think, again, like, college is just such a unique time, and when you get to share it with a group of people that you know, you obviously share your sport with too, is is pretty incredible if you think about it. You know, if you look at like the majority of our team that played significant amount of minutes and everyone who contributed, those were also our best friends. And so to be able to kind of celebrate that, you know, through the entire college process is just something really unique. And I think that's something I'll, you know, just cherish forever.
That's great. That's awesome. BI, what are you thinking?
I would say just there's not I mean, I have so many moments. There's not a particular moment, just how much fun that all of these ladies brought and just the memories, all of the little fun things, the superstitions we had. Those are the things that are my absolute favorite. And we'll bring them up. We'll text each other just out of the blue. Hey, remember when this happened? And just stuff like that, that I can't really say a particular moment, but those things all compiled together are my absolute favorite things that I will never forget.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Vanessa, do you have anything that comes to mind?
Well, I think of park. That's like what I remember. I don't know why. That's just what comes to mind. I know it's maybe not the most exciting thing.
Oh, that was great.
It actually was very exciting.
Probably the most bizarre.
But these girls know better than anyone that I had a lot of growing up to do in college, and they got to see, you know, firsthand me grow up very, very slowly. But I think for me, it's just, you know, these girls supported me, loved me, pushed me really hard to be better, not just, you know, on the court, but just like in general. And so, you know, Beth had mentioned those, you know, you're going through those stacks of things. I went through those recently, and like, you guys, I printed off like Facebook Messenger, maybe like, you know, messages from you girls who, again, we saw every single
like AOL Instant Messenger, Vanessa.
Yeah, I am.
Whatever it was, I printed these things off, which, you know, then you had to like print like in the apartments, and you had to like go to the printer room to get the, you know, printer. So anyways, I have, you know, those which meant so much to me. And so, yeah, I would just say, again, reiterating the friendships, the fun that we had, and just being able to grow up alongside you girls was pretty incredible.
That's awesome. Betsy, BR, even though it's not BR anymore.
Yes.
There we go.
I would say a couple of things I have, I guess, are the memories that we all had. One game I really remember was because we were starving on the bench, was the Hastings game when we went to like 5 or 6 overtimes. Sure. And I don't think I've said D up so much in my life. We were starving. I remember that game. That one was, but again, just all the fun memories and all the things we did off the court are what really stick out.
Yeah. Well, it's cool. I mean, you talk about all the memories. I mean, like the value that you gave, I mean, to us as fans. I mean, we were there when we were in the crowd, like your team literally made college better for everybody. I mean, we had a blast. Your games were like must-see TV if they would have been televised. They were just, it was the best. I mean, the excitement was there. I mean, and now, you know, I've got 2 daughters of my own, and the only thing that I can think about when I think about women's basketball is really your teams, because it was just such next level stuff and just so fun to watch. And all the memories that you guys had together, like you created so many memories for everybody else. And that was just, I guess, thanks for that. Cause I look back on college now and think about how much fun we had being the Alley Crazies and being at those games. It was awesome. We're getting close to 30 minutes here. So I'm gonna ask 1 or 2 more just because I do have Michael and Scottie here. The Last Dance is out. They talk about Jordan and Pippen, you know, alpha dog, alpha on the team. Typically on a team, you know, somebody's got to be Dwayne Wade, somebody's got to be LeBron, somebody's got to be Scottie to Michael. But Britt and Megan, in my opinion, like I probably haven't seen 2 alphas play in the way that you did together. You know, both of you are national players of the year back to back, which I don't know how, I haven't researched that, but I don't know how that's ever happened at any level on the same team. Kind of how did you, talk about just real quick, how did that work? Because you guys made it look effortless. Both of you dominated the game, yet you guys were incredible teammates. If one of you guys want to hop in there and just kind of talk about that dynamic as a teammates, just being as accomplished as you are. Brittany, when you submitted that video for us for the arena, I think I put out there that, I mean, you're and Megan are arguably two of the most accomplished female athletes in college history. So just kind of talk about your guys' relationship and as teammates.
Well, first of all, Brittany's Jordan or LeBron too. Like, I'm good with that. Well, we were headed maybe to Briarcliff, and then Jamie left, and we're like, no way are we going to Morningside. Like, they were a joke. And Brittany and I looked at each other and laughed like, no way. And then we ended up going, and we were roommates. And I think it helped we played together in high school. And I don't think it mattered who scored because we didn't care. So we just wanted to win. So you can pick up, Britt.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's, the end all be all with both of us, I would say, was winning. I could honestly care less how much I ever scored or, I think most of these guys would tell you I would be much more happy if I had like 15 assists in a game than, scoring points. I think scoring was never really something I like hunted to do. It just kind of actually happened. I don't know how, but, I think, again, I think a lot of that too is a testament to Jamie. I think Jamie is a type of coach that let us just be us. I don't think he ever tried to mold us into something he saw or wanted out of us. I think you could still ask Jamie to this day. I bet he's never butted heads with someone more than me. And that's just, and he'll be honest about it. I'm really honest about it. But I think also those who know Jamie knows how competitive Jamie is. And I think that is such a driving force to be great, is to have just that ultimate desire to win. And again, I mean, I made BR cry in a game. So I actually had that going. But I think those are the things like, I just touched on, like, if you have that ability to form relationships with each other, you really honestly don't care. These guys were so important to everything we did. Yeah, I gave it, to Beth, sorry about my language there, about defense, but we probably wouldn't have won a lot of games without her threes, we definitely wouldn't win games without BI and BR's contributions. And then, you talk about the front of the press and Kayla and Vanessa and Jill and everything that they did for us and scoring basket. I mean, it was never really about the final stat line for us. It was, once we kind of figured out, oh, we're actually kind of good, which I do remember our first year in 03-04, we had won like so many games. And I think all of us were kind of like, oh, like this, we're actually kind of good. And from that point on, I think, maybe these guys can touch on it, but I think our game just kind of took a different level. Like we finally kind of played with like a little bit of a swagger, and we knew that we had a chance to do something really special there. And I think that's what we'll forever be proud of, is just we know we kind of, you touched on it at the very beginning, laid the foundation for what Morningside has become. And, again, I think that goes back to just, we were really, really selfless people that at the end of the day cared about each other and, obviously cared about winning basketball games too.
I think we finally figured out the defense that Jamie wanted us to run, because we couldn't ever like fully figure it out. And then when we did, it was like, oh, this works, I guess. and I think we were just so excited when each other scored. I know I was a little psycho at times, but it was just, I don't know, it was awesome. So we didn't like to lose. Right. And you talk about like no nerves. I remember Kayla hurt her knee, so she couldn't play in the championship game, even though she went in and went on the free throw line. I distinctly remember yelling at her, like, get off the free throw line, like you're gonna get hurt. But Vanessa came in, started for her, and just knocked down threes left and right. And it's like, okay, no nerves at all either. So it's like, we didn't, like, you just play for each other.
Mhm. Yeah, I totally forgot about the knee injury, and I forgot about that. And now you're like, now it just hits me too. I remember Vanessa hitting some big shots, and yeah, and you guys just stepped up for each other, and everything you guys lay down. I mean, whether it's in business or in education or what have you. I mean, it's all about the culture that you set, and it was just such a unique time in Morningside athletics. And I think that the right people were there at the right time. I mean, like you said, you, Britt and Meg, you guys decided you're going to go do this, and you had some hiccups and some growing pains, and you played a D2 schedule too, and all those different things that you had to do. I mean, when I was talking to some of I was talking to Brad and to Roush and to Coop, and Coop and Roush were on the team that took Iowa State to overtime, right? And then going through that transition and having to coming full circle and winning the conference championship in 2004. But all the road bumps along the way really like set the culture for what that program ended up becoming. What you guys did really just set the tone and set the culture, and is why Morningside has 4 national titles. So I think that you can't express it enough to those that are in the moment, that as upperclassmen and setting the tone from a leadership standpoint. I mean, your guys' leadership was next level. It just was. And two less leaders wouldn't have been able to play with so much synergy. So I guess I commend you guys on that. I just wanted to, just again, and I'm not sure if you guys are going to bust out the playing cards for everyone. Maybe you're not. I'm not going to put you on the spot, but it's been about 30 minutes. Really, really appreciate you joining us here. Really appreciate everything that you did for Morningside, and for really just for program, and just for all of us to enjoy this team. So thanks for being on here, and thanks for joining us. I hope that's I think the one thing that's special too is that like a lot of lifelong friendships. I mean, the second I text all of you guys, hey, I text Megan, hey, can you help get everybody together? Everyone's in, because you want to spend some time with each other. So I hope you guys are all doing well. You guys have all become just phenomenal people, and so successful in your families and your life in general. It's been really cool just to see all of your families grow. And I just want you guys to know I appreciate you.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Thank
Good to
you.
see all your faces.
All right. Well, thanks.
Bye. Okay.
Yeah.